Dear children, welcome to my channel Amy, that is Accountancy Made Easy. So children, now the exam is right few hours away, okay? And I feel that you all are really very confident about the exam. You all have prepared well and my all best wishes are with you. So on this juncture, I would like to share some important tips which should be kept in mind while being in the examination hall. The moment you receive the question paper, then how you should proceed so that you are able to complete your paper on time. Then you have around 25-30 minutes in your hand to revise the paper, and you can confidently solve every question and get the right answer of it too. Okay, but sometimes children, they make some mistakes, so I just wanted to share those things with you which can help you to complete the paper properly on time. So I have jotted down these points, so let me share these with you. First is that read all the questions twice carefully to register in mind important details of the question. So this thing, children, I keep on telling while explaining the questions also, that every time you are starting a question, you must read it twice, because there can be minute details which you might miss in the first reading. So when you will read the question twice, you will be able to register in your mind all the important parts, like the rate of interest, whether it is 10% per annum given or it is only 10%. Okay, so in both the cases the calculations will be different, whether the current account has to be prepared or capital account. That means whether the capital is fixed or fluctuating. So these are the minute things which you might miss in only one reading. So when you read it twice, it registers in mind, okay, this is the important fact that I have to remember. Second thing, during the 15 minutes, select the option to be done out of internal choice questions. Then read all the MCQs and calculate their answers in mind only. So the 15 minutes, the reading time that you have got, in that you cannot write anything. You have to just, read and decide. So at that time, you can read all the questions, and there are internal choice in few questions. So at that time, while reading the question carefully, you in your mind only you can record that out of the two options available, you are in favor of which option, which one is better prepared for you. So you can keep that also in your mind, and when the time is left over, if any time is left over, then you can start doing the calculations of those MCQs where the calculations are required, again in mind only, because you cannot write, it's a reading time. Okay. Next one is time spent on attempting each MCQ should be 1 minute only, except for 2-3 HOTS MCQ. So generally children, the calculation is like for 1 mark you can spend 2 minutes. Fine. So that you get at the end around 20-25 minutes. But we see that most of the MCQs are like that. You can solve them in 1 minute only. Only few are there which need some calculation, and they might need 2 minutes or maybe sometimes 3 minutes. So most of the MCQs, if you are going to solve in 1 minute, and the short answer questions you are going to solve 2 minutes, 1 mark, and for 1 mark you are spending 2 minutes. So accordingly, for the longer questions you will get a little more time. As you know that the longer questions require drawing big formats and doing calculations and all that. So for that you will get more time, as well as the overall revision time at the end will be more for you. So accordingly the calculations should be done, the time should be spent, and you should stick to what you have decided. So for short answer questions, 2 minutes will be spent for 1 mark. So if you are solving a question of 4 mark, you must solve it within 8 minutes. You should not go beyond. And in case, if you think that the question might have been attempted wrong, or maybe it is not complete yet, some part is still left. So if you think it is going to take only 1 or 2 minutes to complete, then you can spend that time and complete it. But If you think major part of the question is left and you need 10 more minutes to complete it, and then you will complete and then you will forward, go for the next question, that is a big mistake, children, I'm telling you. Because the stress that it will create can impact on next all the questions. So that thing must be kept in mind, that you should not create stress of anything at any point of time. And for doing a question of 4 mark and doing it absolutely correct, the 4 mark question, you cannot get 10 marks for it, right? You will only get 4 marks. So you should spend the required time only. Don't spend the extra time on that, but you will get extra time, for doing that question when you will complete, you can, you have completed all the questions according to the time limit that you have decided, and when you get that the revision time, then you come back and solve this question without any stress. Okay, and in any way you have attempted that question, you have spent pretty 8 minutes on that, so you must have done something good in that, something correct. So out of 4, anyway you have secured already 2.5 or 3 marks. So why for 1 mark you are risking the rest of the paper? Because I'm telling you, one small thought, one small negative thought can affect the entire paper. So you have to be calm, happy, relaxed in the entire paper. Okay, so that is very, very important thing. And most of the time it happens with the balance sheet question. Now the students of commerce, accountancy, and if their balance sheet doesn't match, they take on their ego. Oh, balance sheet, why it has not been matched? No, don't spend extra time even if the balance sheet is not matching, because the marking is done step by step. So if you have done all the steps correctly, so half a mark or single mark can be cut if there is any mistake. It might be a case that you were doing the calculation and only the calculation is wrong. So half mark will go. Why are you going to spend 10, 15, 20 minutes for just matching the balance sheet? So please, that is the most important thing. You should not, rather, you must not spend any extra minute in the first attempt. The required amount of time should be spent in the first attempt. Then at the end of the paper, you will get enough time when you have done all the questions, and one or two are left in between where some confusion might have been there, so that you can come back in the revision time and attempt those, and your mind also will be free that you can now do the question properly. So that is very important thing. The next one is never spend more time than decided in point 3 in the first round. The same thing that I am explaining. Attempting the question, if more time is required, spend the decided time and then come back. The same thing that I have just explained. And next is working notes should be done after the main question. So many times it has been told to the students that the working note should be at the end. Even if you need to calculate things in the working note, you need to solve the working note first, but it should not appear in the front. When you have written answer number 20, so the working note should be at the end. Leave enough space for doing the main question, solve the working note, come back and do the first main question, because along with the question number, the main question should only appear. Okay, so that is to be kept in mind, and remember all the formats, heading and everything should be written debit, credit. So unnecessary why to lose marks. If you are a contender of a 100 mark in the board exam, that means 80 on 80 you want on the theory paper. So in that scenario, you cannot miss a mark only for this fact that the format is not complete and this and that. And the as I told many times, that when the copy goes above 75, so these things are minutely checked, even rather above 70 only out of 80. So these things are checked, that how the presentation is done, everything is perfectly done or not, and everything, right? So that should be kept in mind. And last but not the least, be calm, believe on yourself and God, and stay confident. Okay? And how can you do that? By doing your best, because I believe, and you should also believe, that do your best and leave the rest on God. On God means whomsoever the power that you believe in, the universe, God. Uh, there is some power and everybody believes in that. So believe on that. You have done your best. Believe on that power. I will take care of the rest. Okay? That can give you the ultimate confidence of getting the victory on any situation, in any situation. So the paper of board you can very easily face with that confidence. Okay, with this I would like to wish you all again all the very best. Do well, do excellent, just charge off. So all the best for the board exam, all my dear children.